What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Sketchbook Volume 2 tour. It has been almost 1 year, and I have another sketchbook fully completed. There are so many pages in this book. We're going to go through this, and I'm going to show you some projects that these sketches were attached to as well. So let's dive right in, and I do want to tell you to stick around because there's an important product message at the end. There's a new product coming out, so be sure to stick around. Now let's get right in on this overhead and see what we're in for. All right, so the first sketch, super fun, kicking it off with Predator, of course, in my style. Sketch time, you know it. We're ready to rock and roll. I didn't do anything with this page. This was just fun. There's no project attached. Same with this Spawn page. Although I did kind of use this Spawn for a can that I painted. So I did kind of use this, but never used the Violator. All right, so now we're going to get into the whole name change section of the book. You guys remember me as Woke, most likely. Things got weirdly political, and I'm just super neutral and not one to be, political with my graffiti, with my art, or any sense. I picked the name Woke years and years ago. Since then, there's been issues with me signing off on projects, things like that. So to play it safe, I just went with my own name, Kev, with an S for more flow when I do graffiti. So that is the whole thing behind the name change, short and simple. But anyways, getting into the next page where there's probably another name. Still Woke. Okay, cool. This was a fun, both of these were done with acrylic paint markers. So just fun projects to test out paint markers, not paint markers. Mr. Woke 1, super fun little sketch here. I think I did this with some water-based markers. Those were I'll put it on the screen because I forget what the name of them are, but I will put that on the screen later. Same thing, but this is actually a painting that's behind me. So I'll put that on screen now, as well as this painting that I did to test some markers. This was on a woodcut, as you can see. So super fun to see the sketches and then what they turned into. I actually forgot about this line drawing. I planned to make this into a fully colored print. I wanted to paint it. I didn't get around to it. I kind of mapped it out digitally, but just haven't gotten very far with it. If you guys are interested in getting a print in this, let me know, because that could be something that I finish. It would probably be one of my first and only horizontal pieces. Most of my pieces are vertical. So let me know if you need a horizontal piece for your collection. Let me know. All right, I did paint this on a woodcut as well. I did not paint this on a woodcut. Okay, this was super fun. This led to a tattoo project. It is a Halloween themed sleeve. So I'm working on that. There's another piece that will be shown further along in the book. Actually, 2 more characters that are on this sleeve. This piece here, if you guys didn't watch the full length video, this is on my painting that I did using acrylics. So there is a full length video showing me using acrylics and the whole process of how I painted this piece. Moving along. Okay, back to the name thing. So for a second, I thought it'd be cool to write ochre. I just kind of like the flow of these letters, but I wasn't sold on it. I wasn't set on ochre. So let's see what other names are in this book. KBooArt.com. That's right. If you guys want to go support me, you can go to my website, which I will announce later in the video. Another KBoo piece. These were just kind of me messing around, but I don't know. Maybe I should make like shirts or something. I don't know. We'll see. 2 more pieces that I did marker videos for. I was testing out. I don't remember which company was which. But yeah, I did these on canvas using only acrylic-based markers. So there are long format videos, I believe, on both. So you can check those out. This was actually a painting I did for my girlfriend Lisette for our, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember if it was, I think it was anniversary. I don't think it was birthday. I think this was for the anniversary. Super fun painting where I used acrylic markers and acrylic on top of it just to kind of do brushwork and some marker work. This was actually going to be, I was going to show my client this for the Halloween sleeve, But I actually enjoyed, it's coming up, but he wanted like a ghost kind of character coming out of a graveyard scene. And I actually came up with like a skeleton ghost that you'll see further in this book. All right, so you guys may remember when I did Woke to Vogue, just dropped half of the letter and made it Vogue. There was just a few Vogue pieces out there. There are long format videos of me doing some Vogue pieces, but it did not last very long. Like I said, I wasn't sold on any of these names, and I just feel like Kevs, honestly, it just fits. It's easy. It's my name. So this was when I put up a vote on Instagram, and it was Vogue or Kevs. And most of you guys, a lot of people said, don't change your name, period. But a lot of people ended up voting for Vogue. But I don't know, at the end of the day, it's got to be what makes me happy, right? I'm the one painting it all the time. I'm the one writing it on everything. So this was the first Kevs piece ever just kind of messed around with and written out in more of a graffiti kind of font. But I want it to be super legible just as a first piece to see, is this kind of something that I want to go forward with? And I had a lot of fun with it, and I still continue to have a lot of fun writing my own name. All right, so both these pieces are on the Halloween sleeve. This is the page that I was waiting for to show you guys where I'm at so far with the Halloween sleeve. There's so much more to do. I'm going to add a haunted house, and I can't wait to get more into the arm and just bring it to life, which is kind of funny because these things are clearly not alive. I did do a marker painting on canvas of this one. I was going to do one of this one, and I dropped the ball and just never got around to it. And now I'm remembering the markers are Tombow, I think. I forgot I did these. Some cute little versions, little, aggressive looking, I guess we could say, but still adorable Pokemon characters that I meant to put out there to tattoo and just forgot to post and put out there because honestly, I'm always doing projects and I forget about certain projects. So there you go. There's one I forgot about. All right, turning this book sideways. There is Link, a Vogue piece with Link from Zelda. This was spray painted with paint markers. So I spray painted the pages and then did marker over it. Oh, I should have kept the book sideways. Here is another one. Super fun, just marker with paint marker. So Tombow with some paint marker. And here is a fun little marker sketch sesh where I use this one for a Vogue piece. I think it's super cool to see from sketch to when things are full color. So that was a fun one to transition into a wall in full color and see. Still haven't done anything with this one yet. This is one of my favorite pages of the book because to me, this is what like illustration's all about. It's just storytelling, and I loved having all these characters interacting, little hints that there's land coming by the birds, the little map in her hand. So had a blast with this page and also used this character, which again is cool to see fully colored for a wall that there is a full-length video on me painting at the Heart Jam. I painted this as well, my version of Storm. So this was a fun one. There's a short format video on this one, not a long format. I remember, ironically enough, since I painted Storm, it was super windy, and that was a crazy day of painting. Just a lot of, stormy elements, I guess we'll say. Another Vogue piece that was painted on a wall. So I guess there's more than a few Vogue pieces. When I change my name, I tend to get busy and put as many pieces out as I can just to get people familiar. So I did put this out. I love the flow of this, but I also feel like it kind of says VAC instead of Vogue. But it was implied that this was the O, just kind of, Krang hanging out, like tucked in the piece. Another piece that I was drawing, hanging out with my buddy Sloth Poop, and we were just drawing in the backyard. So I did this piece with markers, but never did anything. It was kind of supposed to be my version of Poison Ivy. So maybe I'll take this and still do something with this. Another Vogue piece that honestly I never posted. I never showed anyone because at the point that I finished this piece, I remember I was about to post and I just was like, you know what? I'm not feeling this name. So yeah, changed it again and never posted this piece, but I did paint this at one point. Oh, Enzo, my pup Enzo. I meant to finish this painting. It's actually on the other side of the room, mapped out on canvas, but never fully colored, never fully painted. This was supposed to be a fun version of my inner spirit animal, just always this crazy hungry monster that wants sweets. So never did anything with it, just thought it was fun to kind of draw as a character. All right, another Kevs piece. I'm sure I've used this outline a couple times, changed it up a little bit, but yeah, this was another Kevs piece, just writing it out when I officially was like, let's go forward using that name. So there's the sketch. And like I said, I'm sure there's plenty of pieces that I've used this similar outline for. This page, I see some proportional errors that I want to mess with, but this was for a saw that my buddy Sloth Poop had given to me. And I decided it's a saw. Let's do Billy the Puppet female version on a saw, so that it would kind of be like a fun play on words. So none of these were actually used for the saw, but this was me kind of messing with ideas just to kind of brainstorm before going at the saw with the paint markers. This is behind me. This is the sketch for my backdrop. Once I was changing the woke wallpaper, or I guess spray painted background that was behind me, I decided we need a new character. I'm known for more characters than my graffiti. I feel like I used to do a lot more graffiti than characters. But at this point, I feel like being more known for characters means I should have a character behind me, since that's what you guys seem to know me more for. So I did this weird kind of monkey that I just thought was fun. All right, super fun page. Every year I go to the Cape and my buddy Mike invites me and Lisette, actually my buddy Mike and my friend Christina, his girlfriend, we all go to the Cape once a year. It's actually their anniversary, but somehow we get invited to stay a couple nights. Very nice of them. And I always do a drawing on the beach. So this was this year's drawing on the beach. I actually used this for a marker company video where I did another woodcut. And I haven't done anything with this, but I gotta say, looking back at it, I love the storytelling of all the little, you know, like he's a collector, he's finding random things on the beach and just kind of roping them to himself. So I'd kind of like to see that in color. I might make a painting, maybe I'll make a print of that, but super fun piece. I haven't done anything with this yet, but I keep thinking about how well this would fit on my backyard wall as just a giant character that I could look out to. Unfortunately, it is getting closer to winter. It's my favorite time of year. We're getting into fall. I'm very excited about that, but it goes so quick and then it gets into winter. So instead of putting this on my backyard wall, I think I'm going to find something a little more fall themed to put on my wall. So nothing's done with this character yet, but maybe sometime soon. Here's another Kevs piece. Didn't fit the S, but yeah, Kev with the Nightcrawler character, my version of Nightcrawler. I painted this up in Massachusetts. Super good day, fun time, fun friends. I was with my buddy Mike and Nest. Nest was nice enough to invite us up there, so we had a blast painting that day on the back of a wall. All right, we'll go this way. This was the sketch that I did. The painting's actually next to me on the wall here, and this was kind of my take on Ra, just a fun character that I ended up doing I think a full-length video. Man, I've done a lot of marker videos. I believe there's a full-length video on this of me testing some markers. Guys, at this point, I don't even know what markers I'm testing. I know you guys always say, what are the best? Like, honestly, they're all so similar that it is hard to find issues with them. The one thing I will tell you guys is if you're very into marker, acrylic-based markers, I prefer the nib tip because they're more saturated, so you don't have to go over it as much. Brush tip are wicked cool and smooth. I just don't like that they're not as opaque. So you get more opaqueness, if that's a word, from using the nib tip rather than the brush tip. But I've been asked over and over, when are you gonna do a video comparing? Maybe I'll do that, but the big difference I found is brush tip versus nib tip. Let's see what else we get. Oh man, I remember being so excited to draw these. All these were done at a coffee shop that I had painted with my buddy Sloth Poop. And honestly, I remember not feeling this. And then I did this one and we were talking about how fun it would be to make it into a 3D like toy or sculpture of some sorts. Just like a shark spray can. And this was supposed to be a spray paint cap kind of goldfish. Maybe it would look cooler if it was like colored in orange or something like a real goldfish, but just goofing off that day, having fun. And then I made this one on the same day, and this was for another marker company that I just recently did. This was a short format. So there is a video out on this one testing the markers so you could see it in full color, what it looks like after it's done. All right. So I did a short format. This is actually spray paint on the background. So it kind of, once it closed, got a little crusty there. But anyways, this is my version of Little Red Riding Hood. I planned this out to be done in the woods. I changed the sketch a lot once I got to the woods, but you can see that things, it's cool to see a black and gray sketch into full color, how it translates and how much more vivid and vibrant things are on the wall in color. Another Kevs piece. This was one that I planned out and I did on my backyard wall, but I did not show anyone. As far as I know, I'd never posted this piece, but it is on my Patreon. So if you guys want to follow along on Patreon, feel free. There's plenty of stuff that they've seen that I've never shown people. And I will leave a link in the description of this video if you choose to follow along on Patreon. And while I'm on that note, I want to give a huge thank you to my Patreon members now. And moving along, we got the vertical layout here of a painting that I recently did. This is next to me as well. There is a long format video on this one. This was fully done using acrylic paint. So if you haven't checked out that long format video, be sure to check that out and do so. Oh, let's keep it vertical. This one changed a lot. This was a rough drawing for Not a Phase Cafe, which just opened in Newington, Connecticut. They're an emo-themed cafe. I just made a short on me making this raccoon character onto a piece of plywood that they installed in their building. So super fun project. Okay, we're back to horizontal. All right, we got Hellboy and Sabretooth. These two characters I recently drew up on my trip to San Diego for the skateboard art show. And I just was doing these in the morning, woke up in the morning, sat outside the hotel on the patio and just had a nice little drawing session. And coming back, I was on the plane and I drew up this Michelangelo, which was super fun. I do kind of want to turn this into maybe a full color print or something. So if that's something you guys want to see, definitely let me know. All right, messing around. I remember just being outside my house, hanging out on the back patio. I got into comics lately again. So I wanted to draw up some comic characters, had some fun with Deadpool, Wolverine, Venom, just kind of messing around on the page. And then again, proportions, there's some things that I can already see I want to change. But yeah, again, super fun, just drawing comic characters. This one, all right. This is my Spider-Man sketch, which I turned into a full rendered, kind of, honestly, I used some color pencils, some alcohol marker, some acrylic paint marker, and airbrush. I had fun just testing every single type of medium I could just to use it for what I wanted. And there are prints available on my website of this piece. So if you'd like to check out my website, again, that's kbuart.com. I've got plenty of prints available. There's plenty of merch available. There is t-shirts, things like that. I'm always updating the site. I'm always trying to put more stuff on the site. So be sure to check it out and maybe pick yourself up something. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Now let's get into, is this the last one? All right, last page, guys. But you know what? Before I show you the last page, I want to show you guys what I wanted to announce. After the last video, a lot of you came up with the idea that I should make a coloring book. And I'm happy to say it is finally here. Kevs coloring book. There are there's 20 characters in this book. There is space between, so the backs are not, if it bleeds through, it's okay. I do recommend acrylic markers rather than alcohol-based markers, because alcohol-based markers do bleed through. If you want to use crayon, that's fine. But again, there's plenty of characters in this book, and it's on Amazon. So be sure to check it out and get yourself one of these books. I'll have them on my website, but they're also available on Amazon. So if you want to color some of my characters, be sure to pick this up. Get yourself this book. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And without further ado, let's get to the last page. All right, my version of Rocket. I just kind of wanted to do something flowy, full body, get some movement. It's the last page. I got to make it as cool as the first page. You guys can see I kind of tend to go all out on my first and last page. So that is how I ended the entire book. I hope you guys enjoyed looking through this book. I thank you guys so much for all your support. Let me know in the comments which character was your favorite. And if you have any questions on the book or anything, just let me know in the comments. Be sure to pick yourself up a coloring book. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.